Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Curved Cabinets of Benbow. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, 48 degrees in here, and I gotta do this quick before I freeze to death. Episode number 22, how many jigs does it take to actually make a curved raised panel? So we're gonna go over all that today. But first, I'd like to thank everybody who's subscribed to my channel over the last 2 years. I really appreciate it, and it means a lot to me, more than you know. So the first thing we're gonna do on today's video is we're gonna put a dado on a hunk of wood that looks like this. Curved, using a jig and a handheld router. If you've never done that before, it's something to watch. You should check it out. And then after we get done dadoing all the parts, I'm gonna domino that same style and rail drawer front frame using my domino machine and a jig. And then the third thing we're gonna do is go over to the bandsaw over here, and I'm gonna use another jig to actually rip down the curved raised panel molding from 2 to 1 3/8. And it's the safest way I know how to rip something that's curved and shaped at the same time. Man, it's cold. After we get done on the bandsaw, we're gonna come over to the beast over here, and we're gonna take the same molding that we just ripped down and miter it. I'm gonna show you what the jig looks like for that. Look, it's pretty much similar to the one that's over here on the bandsaw, except for this one's on the chop saw, and there's a curved part to it and a straight part. And I put a bottom plate on there so I can do actually all the straight stock. That'll butt into this stuff right here. And after we get done with all that, we're gonna take the domino and we're gonna attach the center section of the raised panel to the raised panel molding. And I'll go over all that. And then when we get done with the whole thing, we're just gonna glue everything up, and I have time lapse that because it takes forever to actually make the curved raised panel. It takes quite a bit to, after you've dominoed the whole thing up, to glue it up and then clamp it all together. And I'll just throw it on time lapse and show you the whole thing. And there we go. Let's get to the video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for everybody who subscribed. You guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we'll see you soon. Hopefully 2021 will be better than 2020 because 2020 has been crap. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hey everybody, I'm back, Mr. Kevin here, and what we're about to do is I'm going to put the little dado in the curved rails. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on this jig here, a little stop, so it'll keep that piece in place. This is part of the raised panel that I just took out of the band clamps. It's going to be up here. This is the raised part of the raised panel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually attach that to this with double stick tape. So I can butt this into it. All right, each piece has an X on it right here, so I know that's the side to put the dado in. I've got my old squeaky router that's going to fall apart one of these days. So this has the 1/4 inch wing cutter, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on here, start the thing, and off I go. First thing I got to do though is double stick this into place, and I'll probably put some double stick tape on each one of these too, just to hold it in place because you don't want it wiggling and doing weird things. I've already got the depth set to 1/4 inch off the deck of this thing, and it's a 1/4 inch deep because of that bearing, so that's what we want. So I've actually put a little pieces of wood back here just because I pushed on it one time and I didn't want it moving at all, so I just tacked on with some little 1 inch brads, little pieces of poplar back here, and it's got this stopper on there too, so hopefully by the time I get going a little bit, I'll be able to kind of push this in with my hand maybe. I don't know. All right, let's see how it works. All right, here we go. Woo! Man, I got really close to that screw. Holy crap. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Oh, there we go. You see the double stick tape. All right, well that was exciting. All right, there you go. Beautiful. Nice little dado. All right, there we go. And then we'll just sand this up a little bit, ease that inside edge. Yeah, but there we go, there's one. So we're gonna do a bunch more. Oh man, all right, where is it? There it is. Man. Yeah, that was cool. Let's get out the micrometer and see what it says. Hopefully you got it centered. That says 1/4, and that says 1/4. And at the inside being 1/4. Well, I like it, and I like it a lot. So that's how we're going to do all the rest of these. I've already made a video on how to start and stop these straight ones. So you can go back and watch that one if you want. So I'm going to finish up here. And then I'm going to clean up my mess. I got a huge mess over here. All right, well, here you go. All done by hand. Can be done, not a problem. So the next thing I'm going to do is the stiles. I'm going to sand up all the little grooves here on the rails, and then we're going to domino the things. But first I'm going to have some lunch. If I could do it, you can do it. It's not that hard. I mean, I'm working out of a small little shop here in a little town nowhere, and making a living at it. You can do the same thing. All right, so for our next task, what we shall do is try to put a domino in a curved piece of wood. So I put this little gizmo on there, which is like the size, holds things in there that are like, you can set it to any size, but this one I set it to 1.5 inches, because that's what these guys are, sort of. I got this so it's all centered in there, so you don't really have to think about that. So the angle where that will come in at 90 degrees, because you don't want it tilted one way or the other, because it won't work right. When I go to put this on there, and if it's tilted, the whole thing's going to be all goofy, won't work right. So how am I going to manage to do that? Well, I broke into my shims collection again. There's my bucket of shims. And I got, this one is a 3/16. And I think it'll go on there. So what I'm doing, right there is 90 degrees. This piece right here is right at 90. I slide that little puppy in there. That looks to be pretty close. One thing I am going to do though, I'm going to take this right here, magic pencil, and I'm just going to cut it on that line on my bandsaw real quick. So that what I'm going to do then is I'm going to cut that on the line, and I'm going to double stick tape that there, and we're going to zip one and see if it works. Okay. So that's what it's going to look like. Yeah. Hopefully that stays there. Oh boy. All right, so I got it in there just like that. So it's like a little ramp, and that'll hold that square, hopefully. Shims, you never know when you're going to need them. There's a whole entire show on shims over here somewhere. Okay. So I got all the pieces here. I got the jig out, thinking I can use that to help hold it up, cradle it or whatever. This is very awkward. All right, here we go. I want it bigger. Yeah, no, I'm gonna switch bits. I want it bigger. See, that's the one that was in there. That's a little tiny fella. I want to put this one in it. It's a little bigger. All right, that's on there. Put the little wrench away that you lose almost immediately, which I've already lost twice. This thing is amazing. It's so tight. Good and tight. I think we set it to like, set it and forget it. I think we set these ones to like 20. So you set this to 20 for a 3/4 inch thick piece of wood. I think we're just gonna go for it and hope for the best. What do you think? Let's just see what happens, because I want to see what happens. This thing tried to attack me. Has a mind of its own. All right, ready? Here we go. Fingers crossed, everyone. Huh. Oh yeah. That's it right there. See that? All right. So that's what we're going to put in there. All right, on there I'm pushing down with my thumb here, and I'm holding this into place on the jig. It just helps a little bit. Now this one, I made a jig. I made this dumb jig a long time ago. A style door dado jig flipper flapper. But it also works for this. I usually screw this down, but right now I'm just going to get it on there. See what the hell happens here. All right, line it up. Here we go. You see, let me go like that. and they're flushed. I mean, they're pretty flush for something from a curve to not a curved thing, you know what I mean? As good as you're gonna get, you're gonna have to sand all curved things. Hang over. So now it's hanging over the edge. Let's see what that does. Was I up on it before? Oh, maybe that's what the deal was. Shazam. Let me try this. Look at that, that one came out perfect. Can you see that? There it is. It's not, I must have been hitting the jig with the bottom of that thing and screwed it all up. What a dummy. All right. Nobody's perfect, you know what I mean? All right, here we go. And it is flushed. Flushed right there. All right. Oh, yeah. Perfect. And all the little dados line up and all that too. See? Yeah. Cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape all these together, put them in the hole and put clamps on them and admire them. All right, so I taped everything up. Came out pretty good. Now that I know you can't be on the jig at all, well, zipping it because it held it up too much, that's a good thing. So let's put these in place. What do you think? This is the middle one. Okay. All right, we got the perfect solution for something like that. Spring clamp. Voila. And there it is. The top one. There you go. Put a clamp on that. I don't want it falling out. And this one gets attached to the drawer front. So tomorrow we're going to fit all these. We'll make them like a fat 16th everywhere. Right now they're all in there pretty snug and tight. All right, there we go. We're getting closer and closer. It's starting to look like something. And yeah, yay. Hi everybody, Mr. Kevin here. I'm back. All right, we're at the bandsaw. So what we have to do now is we have to cut these 2 3/8. This is about 2 inches right now. The first one I cut, and I actually cut one of them right here. This one I cut just running it through freehand. And I thought to myself, I have the pieces that are left over from actually bandsawing these out in the first place. You saw that video, it's over there somewhere. All right, so what I did is I took 2 pieces of wood that I had. I'm actually milling these out. I traced them out with the jig, so I got the curve just right. I dis-sanded it to the line, so it fits this just perfectly. All right, and I'm going to stick them on here with double stick tape. There's only one problem. You know what the problem is? Since this is like 3/4 of an inch thick, see if I can show you this. You see that? So I'm gonna expand these by 3/4 of an inch. You see the problem? Yeah, no bueno. Spreading these out makes that radius wider and oblong, not right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these right in the center of that blade. I'm going to make a pencil mark with my trusty dusty pencil right about here. All right, about the same on both sides. I'm going to go cut it on the chop saw. All right, excuse me very much. All right, now we have both of them cut. Now, when we splay them out, look at that, huh? Yeah. Voila, it's magic. So there you go. So you can't just take a radius and cut it in half and open it up a little bit. Even 3/4 of an inch will screw up your radius. Hopefully I'll be able to zoom you in and you can watch what I'm doing here. All right, up against the fence. Let's see how it all works out. Yeah, that's pretty good. Then I got to join them all. Join them all in the joiner. It's going to be exciting. All right, come up here. Right, here we go. All right, well, there you go. That worked out pretty good. So as you're running it through there, just make sure you're up against the fence, let it run through. And these blocks worked out really well. I mean, I already had them. They're basically in the scrap bin. Just dis-sanded them to make them more smooth. Got off the bandsaw marks and follow the curve of the raised panel molding. And boom, there we go. Worked out slick. But anyway, yeah, there you go. Never throw away your scrap and chop it up into little pieces. You might need it, you know, a day or two later after you've cut it up. You never know. I use scrap for everything. I'm a scrapaholic. Hey everybody, welcome to the Beast. The Beast. So as you can see, the Beast has its own little curved ramps. I've cut the blocks, so it's right on the block itself, so I can use the block as a guide to make my cuts. So if I need to cut off, you know, a 1/16 of an inch or whatever, I got a little pencil mark there. I can easily find it because it's right there and it's up here. So these are all in the same plane. So I also double stick tape this guy down so I can cut 45 degrees this way. Boom, like that. And it won't cut all the way through because these fences are so tall it actually stops over here. It doesn't allow it to go all the way down. That's why I put this down in the first place. I can do everything I need to do, not have to take these blocks off and add another block here or cut these down because I want it up as high as possible so I can actually see what the hell I'm doing because I'm old and blind and I can't see squat. So I want to be able to look out here, okay, there's my pencil mark, and boom, cut it when I need it. And there you go. All right, so we're going to start on the top drawer front up here, which is just a false front. It just sits there all by itself. I've taken these down, and when I marked them yesterday with the pencil, I just dis-sanded them down to the line. They fit in there exactly the same with the paper in there. This one here is a 1/16 of an inch taller than this one. Somewhere in here, something moved. So don't always check your parts. Don't always cut them exactly the same. All right, so we have these right here. I already mitered this one yesterday because I couldn't wait to use my jig over there. And what we have to do now is I'm taking the rail, the bottom rail, and I'm going to set this puppy in there. For the first time, it's never been in there ever before. And you can see, I don't know if you can see that or not, there's certain spots that are really tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my regular old sander out and I'm just going to sand it. First, I'm going to explain this. So we have this miter here, and these dados are 3/8 of an inch deep. So I'm not going to stick this out 3/8. I'm going to stick it in like 5/16. I want a little bit of space in there. So I have this little shim right here, and I'm going to do this. See that right there? I'm just going to put it on there and butt that out there. And I take this and I just strike the line here, and that way I know where to put my miter, and I set it up on my jig over there and cut it. So they'll stick in 5/16. So wood has a tendency to expand and contract a little bit, so just give it some room. But now you know how I mark them. You've seen the Beast and how it's all set up ready to cut all the parts. And that's what I'm going to do. But first I'm going to sand this back here. And I'm just going to sand that back a little bit so it's not so damn tight. Because I can squeeze this in here. God, I'm knocking things over. I could really squeeze it in there and get it in there, but I just kind of want it to slide in there. I don't want to be under any kind of tension whatsoever. None. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's all together. Once I get it all mitered up and put together, then we're going to domino the back, which I have no idea how I'm going to do yet. Oh, okay. Here's the raised panel. See what it looks like? It looks pretty cool, huh? All right, and then I put lines on them. That's where the little dominoes are going to go. So this section's B, the other one's A. It sits on top here. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clamp the whole thing together. Put this one on top of it. Biscuit together. Boop, these two together. I'm going to let it sit overnight. And then the next day I'm going to put all the little dominoes. Then I'll put these parts in and we'll glue that on after the whole thing is together. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to biscuit where all these little lines are right here with this guy, and then I'm going to do, well, actually I'll do this one first. Yeah, it's kind of a strange thing. You got to get it on there. Kind of hold it in place. And then we'll see how all this goes. Hopefully it doesn't move. I'll put my headphones on. This thing's kind of loud. So I'm gonna put these all in here. You see that? That's how they go in there. Check it out. That's pretty cool. There's the back. All right. So far, so good. That looks pretty good in the front. Look, check it out. Yeah, it's pretty clean. I'm going to put a little piece in here, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it holds together. Look, I can hold it with one hand. Dominoes are amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. And you can see the back is not absolutely perfectly smooth, but it's curved, you know. It's not going to be perfect. You can sand it later if you want this flat, but it doesn't get seen, so why bother? The front gets seen, so you got to make that look beautiful. The back, not so much. All right, so there it is. I got them both done. I got the other one done too. I'm not putting a domino in that damn thing. There's no way. No, thank you. So I'm just going to glue it in there. The whole thing is now I got to take it all apart. Now it's all beautiful, and I got to glue everything together. I'm not really sure how I'm going to go about doing that. Okay, so there's the door parts. We'll just keep this stuff over here where it belongs. This is what we're going to deal with here. This one goes here, and this one goes here. I have A here and B here. And there's B, there's A. You don't want to get them confused because it won't work when you go to glue them up. So we're going to do B first. Put B down here like that, and boom, like this. This is the first one we did. You can see this one was close. That one was close and I didn't like it. I thought I'd change it. That one's right on the money. And that one's pretty good too. Yeah. Also, it's very important that you line the pencil marks up when you have this in place where you want it. You put the pencil marks in when they're all clamped in place, because that'll help you line this joint up right here, which is going to be kind of important here in a minute. You can't even get a brush out when you're filming. They need a haircut. Cheesy chisel point brush. All right, here we go. There we go, like this. See, I could spread it out. I don't get tons of glue all over it. Just a little bit of glue. All right. Put a little glue in there. We'll do that. Do the next one. It's easier to dab a brush in the glue and then put it on the material. But you want to glue it up. That one's going to be a little loose because I did that one twice, but it's still got glue in it. The other side's going to be better. They're going to be better from now on because now I know. Yeah, I'm just going to put that in there like that. Try to get it centered as best we can. Put a little glue up here. Glue on the sides. This is one place you don't need a bunch of glue splooges on your molding. It makes it a pain in the butt too. Sorry. I'm paying attention. Makes it a pain in the butt to scrape off when you got, especially something curved like this. All right, that's the very first one I've done that's this big. All right, people, thanks for watching. I hope that was interesting, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.
Subscribe now.
I think I got that one. Full here in Humboldt County, California, where all the stoners live. All right, I better save this for later because I'll forget what the hell the title is. I have a little theory going on in my head, which is kind of crazy. With all the voices and things, you know. Okay, so I'm over here. Never mind the bald spot. It's my anti-hair light. All right, golly, I got it all hooked up. Can you see it? This is why. Maybe I'll make a bow and arrow. Make ourselves a bow and arrow. Give it to the kids and let them play cowboys and Indians. Or is that racist now? You don't know these days. Everything's racist. My dog's racist because he's white and brown. And he's got black stripes. Baxter the Wonder Dog must be a multicultural racist. Good golly. All right, people, well, there you go. Terrible. Man, I'm old. Crap. I feel like I'm 20 in my mind.